A good midday Friday, everyone. Roger Hill with the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. Looking northwest here with blue skies and bright sunshine, but very cold temperatures and a lot of snowless ground. And looking at the broad scale picture here, you can see that we have clear skies over the northeast United States, including Vermont, thanks to this small but area of higher pressure. This is going to be hanging out across much of the, just off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean here off the eastern New England coast, and producing a ridge that occasionally is going to try to work its way back and actually try to clear us on out after some cloudy periods. This is the main storm system, a lot of jet stream energy coming in ashore from the west coast, a very much El Nino look with the subtropical jet being the strongest, and then a northern branch in the Pacific anyway. Some of those will get together and produce a mid-latitude trough, and that's going to work in here for a little bit of rain. That takes place on the middle part of next week, namely on Wednesday. Right now it looks like a fairly light amount. Things could change, and we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But in the meantime, we're looking at generally quiet weather overall, although an increase in cloud cover after today's beautiful sunny conditions. And here's our mid-latitude precipitation. You can see that basically it's covering a wide area here from the Gulf Coast. Not very thick or concentrated, and this is what's going to be running into a ridge of higher pressure eventually. More jet stream energy again off the west coast, and this is the most important system just off the Southern California coast, producing flooding rainfall. All the strong winds are associated well to the northeast and to the Canadian Maritimes, and not a whole lot of wind across the country at this point in time. On the right-hand side, we have the Canadian gem and the European on the left-hand side, and models overall match up pretty well. A little bit later in the further along you go, you'll see a little bit of a change. But we have an area of higher pressure that's kind of ridging in from just off the coast, as mentioned. This is valid now at about 11 o'clock during the day tomorrow, Saturday. And we start to see an influx of cloud cover, and then finally Saturday evening, just a little bit of snow. You can see both the Canadian gem and the European is on top of that. This is just light flurry action, mostly in the central and southern areas affected. High pressure tries to rebuild back a little bit on Sunday. The net is that we're going to have like variable cloudiness, occasionally some sunshine mixed in from time to time, but predominantly cloudy because a lot of this moisture now is spreading in via a loft, say above 20,000 feet, and that's creating a lot of high-level cloudiness. Now, by the time we get into Monday, Christmas Day, we're looking at, again, generally dry weather. No real issues here, but it's getting closer and closer. We have kind of a frontal boundary that kind of sags in from the south. Mostly this mid-latitude storm system that's going to be pushing in with basically rain. And the rain is, for the most part, fairly light. Now, note here, there's that frontal boundary I talked about sags in the northern areas. We'll have to watch for the possibility of some perhaps mixed precipitation in the northern tier regions with a little bit of colder air bleeding in. So that's what the Canadian model is trying to indicate here. Now, interestingly, the GFS is not showing that. It's more with the European, with mainly all rain and, of course, warmer temperatures. So using the GFS, you can see that it's mainly going to be a rainstorm. One of the GFS does is it spins up a much stronger area of low pressure. The Canadian model, however, again, does not show that. So two models against one. And I'm thinking probably not. And I don't think this solution is correct. I think we'll probably be all rain based on the temperature scenarios. But that's a long ways out. We're talking basically 156 hours beyond the outlook period. So eventually, though, we will lead to some snow. And you can see that this sort of upper level low and trough of lower pressure, maybe a surface low off the coast, will kind of get together and produce some snow showers and start to deliver a little bit more snow cover back into the region, but that's not until very late next week. Here's a little bit of our uptick in a little bit of flurry or spotty freezing rain that occurs basically on Saturday evening, Saturday night, and then we're back into dry weather. And then this is our next incoming precipitation. And precipitation type, a couple ways to look at that. 850 temperatures about the top of Mount Mansfield. The layer aloft shows that the 0 degree isotherm will be all rain, but a little bit below that means a little bit of flurry action. So in terms of precipitation type, we have a little bit of a combination right here. And then this is mostly all rain and maybe a little bit of a transition to some wet snow, but this is way down around the corner. Weather Prediction Center 7-day total QPF only brings us about a half an inch. This is the 1-inch line where it's a little more heftier, and you can see that it's much drier further north you go here. Climate Reanalyzer shows you that we are now into slightly below normal temperatures as we are currently, but look at what's coming up here. This is well above normal, pretty phenomenal across North America right now. That phenomenally warm anomaly is very much illustrated here. Look at this, 18 degrees above normal, 21 degrees above normal. Pretty serious warmth here. This is where it's cooled down. That's neutral, and this is below normal temperatures. But for us, running about 12 to 15 degrees above normal weighted temperature. Give it about 3 days later, that's what it looks like. Still running about 12 to 15 degrees above normal. Kind of phenomenal to see this roughly right about the holiday season. This is North America, and just look how we've really broken out with huge snowless anomalies across North America. It even affects all of the northern hemisphere, as you can see here, also on the edge. The interesting thing is that Eurasia is now starting to pick up a little bit more snow. You can see that it's really starting to rise. Cool temperatures on this Friday, but bright sunshine, and that is the trade-off this time of year. Temperatures rising basically from 0 degrees at Saranac Lake this morning. We're headed toward temperatures around the mid-20s. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.